Hello, my beautiful soul family. I welcome you all to my channel, The Mystical Hummingbird. I hope that you've had a wonderful week and a wonderful weekend, wherever you may find yourselves. I'm going to tell you, I have told you before that we have a little bit of a kind of a funny thing going on my channel right now. I don't know why I have 4 Keanu Reeves now. Go figure. Anyway, I'm not saying anything else. If you're here to learn about something, I mean, there's only like 26, 27 subscribers for a while, and the people that are listening to me, they are interested in spirituality. I am not forcing anyone to come here. I was asked by Spirit to come here and do this. I'm going to let you know one thing though. I'm not stupid. If you're going to ask me for money, if you think I'm going to, anything like that, you can forget it. It's really sad that there are people that are impersonating this man. I have total respect for him, and I'm really sad because I see things all over online where they make him talk and he things that supposedly are from him, and I don't believe it is. I've even asked Father and not having nothing to do with any of those channels. But anyway, if you come here, it must be because you need something from me, and all you'll get from me are my words and my experiences. And if you don't like them, remove yourselves. I'm not going to take time to remove you because I just don't feel like it. My time is precious. But if you're here to play games and you think you can get something out of me, you got another thing coming. Like I said, when you're going that way, I've already gone several times. So anyway, what I asked Spirit today, I wanted to bring out self-knowledge. One of my favorite writers from Lebanon, Khalil Gibran, in one of my favorite books, The Prophet, I have a little excerpt from his book on self-knowledge, and I will start with that right now and read this to you. And a man said, "Speak to us of self-knowledge." And he answered, saying, "Your hearts know in silence the secrets of the days and the nights, but your ears thirst for the sound of your heart's knowledge. You would know in words that which you have always known in thought. You would touch with your fingers the naked body of your dreams. And it is well you should. The hidden wellspring of you, of your soul, must needs rise and run, murmuring to the sea, and the treasure of your infinite depths will be revealed to your eyes. But let there be no scales to weigh your unknown treasure, and seek not the depths of your knowledge with staff or sounding life. For self is a sea boundless and measureless. Say not, I have found the truth, but rather, I have found a truth. Say not, I have found the path of the soul. Say rather, I have met the soul walking upon my path. For the soul walks upon all paths. The soul walks not upon a line, neither does it grow like a reed. The soul upfolds itself like a lotus of countless petals. I find that so beautiful. He was such an amazing writer. I have devoured his books, and he has touched my heart, and he left a beautiful legacy. Now, I'm really happy because I I don't know if I've mentioned to you before, but I write. Although I am not a professional writer, I haven't gone to school to learn to write. It's just something that I have had since I was a little girl. I write poetry, and I keep journals. I counted my journals and my diaries, and um, for the ones that I've kept, because I've burned many of them too, because I've done study. I do study of my mind, and many times when I've gone through the dark night of the soul, which has been many, I have taken my information that I have gathered and the feelings that have poured out from me. I've taken them and written them down, and when they no longer service me, and when I could understand why I was in that position and why I felt so deeply, and then when I finally understood me, I no longer needed to keep that, because sometimes the things were so painful that I did not want to go back and read that to bring that memory here, because I don't need it anymore. So I discarded it, and so I burnt them. So, but in total, I think I have had like almost 200, and I have burned many, 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 many. I think I have like 60 now. But anyway, I'm going to read you a little piece, a little excerpt from one of my books that I've written, and I found them. I found I don't even have them in a specific place, but because I move around a lot, I have them, you know, in boxes and things. And lately I've been wanting to catch up to do some editing in some of them, but I found this one, and I'm going to read this chapter 3. And actually this one is about preparing of the self. Do you remember of the last time when you planned a trip for several weeks or months? How meticulously you prepared yourself. You made a long list of all of the necessities. All was in order. As for example, when you would go to college, you took special care that all of your clothing was neatly arrayed in your suitcase, the shirts, the socks, your personal toiletries, etc. The same as when you took a trip to Europe with your friends, planned to be gone for some weeks, to travel throughout by train. You had never been there, so you prepare yourselves. You make a plan where you will stay and get yourselves a map, and even mark the places you would like to go. A well thought out plan. You all purchase raincoats because they have told you that it can rain quite a lot in England, and since you will all be on foot, you wanted to stay dry. So the expectant mother prepares in advance the nursery, the crib, the baby outfits, and all of the baby paraphernalia. From the day she knew she was pregnant, she began a 9-month preparedness. She sees to her own physical needs. She eats more nutritious, rubs oils and special creams on her belly, takes time to fix the coming new visitor nursery by painting, adding murals, pretty mobiles. So the essence of preparing is all around her and all she contacts. The bride carefully and painstakingly chooses her wedding dress. She can take up to a year to decide which is the perfect one. The shoes have to be just right, the right shade. The color of the bridesmaids' dresses need to be according to the flowers and the ensemble. The ring fitted perfectly. The veil has to fall just the right way. Oh, and let's not forget the place, whether it's a church or a garden. All of the little details conformed to the bride's wishes. A painter begins a painting and takes months, sometimes years, to complete his desired result. An architect has a plan, a blueprint he works from, contracted to build, and it is giving a certain time to create the dream. The doctor took 8+ more years to prepare to become what he envisioned nearly 10 years before. The mother that holds her infant for the first time and hands the baby to the adoring father. Between them two are the preparations of a lifetime: to give, to provide comfort, security, love, nurturing, all of the necessary attributes to make a happy home for their sweet baby. Another preparation, one most people dread and accept, incredible enough, death. People purchase a lot, the trees, the shrubbery, even the casket. They contact the attorneys to make a will and to decide who will be the caretaker of their fortunes. Every one of us, sometime or another in our lives, has or will take the time necessary to prepare for some future event where life requires a certain order and we accommodate ourselves to that situation. We pour out so much of our energies preparing for diverse events. Of course, most have a purpose and necessary, since so much of this time and energy is dispersed. Many a time we all forget how important it is to prepare the self. Now you may ask, what do you mean by preparing the self? First of all humans alike want, need harmony, but how many of us are willing to painstakingly take the time to make sure that our ambience, our surroundings, our daily environment is one of harmony? How many? How many take the time to meditate and balance themselves, preparing the new day, making sure that your affirmations are true and your mind is focused? What is the self? Well, it is our subconscious mind brought to our conscious mind. It is the pure thought of you and me. It is the inner child, the essence of God within you. It has been left alone for too long. It needs to be brought to light with a keen awareness of its being. We must open our hearts to him or her and allow the sun in. If we are willing to prepare for so many other things that have importance in our lives, we should as well consider to nurture this side of us that to many it is foreign and unknown. And some are even afraid to venture into, for it is considered odd. This is how I see it. Before we build a house or structure, we lay out the foundation. This will help to sustain the building from heavy winds, storms, earthquakes, and so on. A blueprint is drawn out carefully. The exact measurements, the levels, the sewerage pipes, the placement of the steel bars that hold the construction in place. Without these steps, and if one were to build without taking into consideration of the groundwater level, the myriad of things that could go wrong are endless. So it is with ourselves. We are born without a map. We're born into this world apparently without guidance. Yet if we stop and think about it, yes, we are. We're sent here with a foundation most have forgotten. We carry God's attributes and virtues from the moment we arrive into this world. But unfortunately, our parents forgot as well. So we're programmed to fear and not build onto the foundation which was given to us. What was the first thought that came to us when we approached the tree and tried to climb? Don't, you're gonna fall. Fear. And when you try to show you could ride the bike, don't, you're gonna fall. Fear. Be careful, don't fall. And what happened? You fell. Fear. Wear your coat, bundle up or you will catch your death. Then you get a mighty cold. I really believe that all parents have done what they could under their circumstances, me included. I also believe that all could have done better, me included as well. Yet, when one does not have the knowledge that change is possible, the kind of change I'm talking about is an inner one, the consciousness, that which leads you to be sublime, to believe that all is possible, to believe that fear does not exist, that you create your world by the feeling you give to your world and the trust you give to yourself and your and your word. Preparing the self is nurturing the spiritual side of us to face the daily task at hand and the challenges that come into our lives. Few of us know how vital and crucial it is to prepare the self. Once you connected daily with the source, it does not matter what you conceive him to be, but connect nevertheless. Believing you can connect, believing the wonder of believing, thinking childlike and aspiring to the pure thought of being connected. So you are. Admit to yourself you have erred, whatever it may be. Then do the noble thing. Forgive yourself. Be kind. You did not know better. You're not evil. You're not a monster. You're not darkness. You can never be. Give yourself a try. Do the unexpected. If you're not happy with your job or your life, prepare for a new one. Commit to yourself, you owe it to you, and no one can better your life but you. It is our divine destiny. Once you have found the reasons to change, you and I hold the keys on how to go about it. The doors of the kingdom were once closed, but I no longer wish them closed. So I will draw from my mother lode and enrich my life with the abundance created by my treasure. It was dormant. It is truly the sleeping giant, and now it is free. It is a responsibility we all have. Few know of it, but when we come to the source of what we are made of and realize that we are one with the universe, it touches your soul. It engrants your vision when you know that as your heart beats, every living heart in this planet of our beats with mine, creating a universe of souls united in song, united in being, united in love. I can't imagine something more magnanimous. I know that I am an idealist and a firm believer that we can do everything and achieve everything. I also believe that we all have been given the world's most incredible inheritance. Few know of it. Fewer take advantage of it. But I feel that we need to shout to the world to prepare to receive it. Think about it. The only reason why everyone expects and seeks the best in everything, whether it is a house, a new relationship, a career, beauty, peace, wealth, and a million other things. Why? Because deep down everyone knows that it is their divine right. People need to acknowledge this need and prepare themselves, truly prepared to receive from the Father of Fathers. No one need lack anything, not love, not happiness, not abundance, not a family, nor children, health, a home, the basic necessities of life. To make a grand change, we must first of all want the change and no longer accept mediocre attitudes from your own self. No longer settle for less, no longer accept the lie. We really do lie to ourselves. We want happiness and joy, yet are not able to see the lie created in us. It is staring at us right in the face at times, and still we cannot see it. Sometimes we have told ourselves for so long that something is right. We have made it right. Then why is it that we're not well? Why is it that we're not happy? Why is it that we're still longing for something and still are not at peace when after we have chosen something, it does not give the feeling we expected? I told myself many years ago when I was at the end of my rope that something had to give. I could not continue living in such drudgery. I carried emotional pain from years back, and one day I broke. I have broken several times, but this time there was little holding me there. Here, I had literally lost myself. The beautiful, tenacious woman I knew was inside was crying for liberation. This is when I knew I had to take action. I retrieved to my inner self and commuted with the Father of Fathers, my Father. When you have tried to take your life and you no longer see straight, and all you see is the dark, the pain, the betrayal to your own self, the pain inflicted, you need help. Yes, I did need help from therapists, all kinds of therapists. I read books to help me rethink, but nothing helped me as when I turned to my inner strengths, my inner self. I sought my true Father, and I am alive, happier than I have ever been due to the miracle He created in me. This experience is very personal and sacred to me. All I will say is that we can all have a special moment with deity. I wanted truth. I screamed and shouted for truth. I received truth. And daily I partake of truth, for it is what I most love and desire. It took me years to realize I had been lying to myself. I could not see for my blurry vision. Either that or I was wearing rose-colored glasses. The greatest truth is within us. To know thyself is one of the greatest accomplishments we all need to strive for to achieve. The question still lies, to be or not to be. And that really is the question to mankind, to ourselves, to each individual. And it must be answered if we want to liberate ourselves from the mundane. And what should I be? It was necessary for me to find a common ground where I could meet with myself, where I could shelter myself and prepare for the betterment that was to become. The best place was within. It reminded me of a movie I once saw. It was called Travel to the Center of the Earth. And here, after traveling for months and months, these scientists found the core and the center of the earth. They found the answers. There was knowledge, wisdom. The people never aged. Their intellect was broad. They had a great system of government. In science, they were ahead so much that illnesses did not exist. A true utopia with the highest technology. I laughed at myself the other day. It may seem radical thinking, but you know what? I really want to believe that one day the world will live in such amicable conditions, that the word war will no longer exist, that love will prevail above all, sicknesses will become extinct, abundance will be showered on the earth. No one shall ever steal, whether it is clothing, food. There will be no selfishness. No one will covet what the neighbor has, because there will be no lack of anything. I like that idea of such a world. I believe that this world is in process of becoming. It is not an ideal, it is my dream, and I am sure that countless of others want world peace. It all begins with a desire to want to change, to want to be better, to have in your conscious mind the entire time that you can, that you will change, that you can change. Give yourself the time to think through what you want changed in your life, what matters to you, what makes you happy. Changes can be difficult if we're not sure that it is what we want. We need to be positive of the new ideas and the new considerations for our life. It is almost as if we were preparing ourselves for a birth. Imagine you are the newborn. Take care that all applies to you. It will be the first class. It will be first class and only first class because you deserve first class. That you will give consideration to your every need and desire, even whim. Babies get pampered. Well, you go right ahead and pamper yourself. Be outrageous with you. Be kind and loving with yourself. If you love fresh tulips or roses like I do, buy them and place them close to your desk or at home. Give yourself a wonderful milk bath. Run the bathtub as warm as you can. Stand it and throw in a gallon of whole milk in there. It will do wonders for your spirit. Get a facial. Go for a long walk, alone or with your children or your love. Prepare yourself to become the best you possible. And do not accept for any negative comments. If you believe you can, then by God you can. Prepare yourself to become the best you possible and do not accept for any negative comments. If going back to school will do it, Go and inform yourself about everything related. If you're an entrepreneur and desire your own business, well, go and create the best, most wonderful one. Begin by getting to know you. Listen to yourself talk and see what you like. Are you truthful with yourself? Do you like to talk? Do you exaggerate about things? Do you like to talk about people? Do you find pleasure in doing things for others? Are you a giving person? Are you lazy? Are you an avid reader and like to be aware of the world around you? Do you go on long walks? Are you a thinker? Are you quickly to anger? Do you have patience? Are you an optimist or a pessimist? Do you see the good in others, or are you always complaining? Are you healthy, or are you a hypochondriac? Do you believe in yourself, or are you filled with fears and phobias? Are you a romantic at heart, or a narcissist? Are you an idealist? Do you believe in something, or are you an atheist? Do you exercise? Are you an athlete, or are you a couch potato? Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Do you believe you can achieve your dreams? Do you have dreams? Are you goal-oriented? Do you study? Or are you always saying, oh, it's all up to fate? Do you get up early or sleep late? Do you travel and see new places? Or have you lived in the same house for over 20 years? Are you married? Do you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Fiancé? Or are you single? Are you lonely? Are you alone? Do you enjoy people? Do you like to cook or rather eat out? Do you like pets? What do you think of life conditions today? Are you in love with life? Are you in love with yourself? So many questions, all valid. Why? Because they all concern you and me. So ask yourselves, this is where we all need to make drastic change. We need to evaluate the priorities. We need to evaluate from a scale from 1 to 10 and be keenly aware of our needs and expectations of life. Take a test. Write down your likes and dislikes. Be honest with yourself and make the best assessment of you to benefit you and no one else but you. Once you have done that, the test will be for yourself to imagine and dream a new life. And you must believe that you have that power and the intellect necessary to achieve your desired dream. There is so much more out there for you to enjoy. One can be even a shoemaker. The trade does not matter. It is what you do with the trade that will. If you are the happiest shoemaker in the world and making and fixing shoes gives you pleasure, then go right ahead and be the best shoemaker there is. If you are a custodian of a bank, a school, a hospital, does it matter? If you're happy and positive and take pride in what you do, you only need to see that. The measure of a man is not where his intellect lies or how much money he earns. It is in the beauty of his work and in the smile he has when he comes to work and when he leaves. And I also believe, I'll add to that, the beauty of the work that you do with your hands. Like either you create a beautiful painting, or you work with wood, or you work with creating pottery. The measure of a man is not where his intellect lies, and it's not about the money. Although the money is wonderful because it gives you a better life and you can help other people, but I believe that we need to see the beauty that's within us and what we can offer this world and ourselves. I believe that there is a place for us all in this universe of ours, and each one of us contributes in his or her small way to the betterment of our world. There has to be a garbage collector, as well as a dishwasher to place the dirty dishes for the machine to do the work. There needs to be a cleaning woman or man to take care of the hospital rooms or hotel rooms. There is honor in every position. I have experienced, sadly to say, people who look down on others' humble work. All I can say to that is just, as beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so it is in the beauty of work. Love your job. out of respect and love to yourself. Edify and build you. Do you know why? Let me tell you why. Because no one in this world will nor can build nor love you like you can. This is our very own responsibility. And if you would not entrust your baby to anyone that was not trustworthy, right? So prepare. Do not fear. Live. Believe in yourself and know you are worthy of it. Once we know that we are entitled to receive and feel worthy, for we must feel worthy. Many people don't know their own worthiness. They feel that they lack and have nothing. They practically scream it out to the four winds without realizing that they are only limiting themselves of their inheritance. The acknowledgement is the motive for action, the certainty of something hoped for. Once you grasp the simplicity of life, will carry you to prepare the self. It will be an automatic shift where you no longer travel alone, for you allow your higher intelligence to be the conductor. Believe me, it takes courage to find that we lie. Oh, do we lie? I mean, the lie to ourselves, the one we start believing when someone asks you, how are you doing? And you reply, oh, I'm doing great. And truly you're having the worst day of your life. Let your feelings show. I don't mean to become hysterical and start a wild commotion at your work about how you dislike this or that. Just let yourself be, and with quiet reverence, acknowledge that you did not appreciate the comment made about John, and voice your happiness and your hurts. Voice your truth. Don't hold on to it. If the soup does not taste good and you don't like it, don't eat it. If it needs more salt, add to it. Do not sit there contemplating the plate and eat without gusto. No, now you will see why. And I've told you guys about this story in another video, some videos back. And this was in the year 2004. Sometime in the early summer, Maryland, a dear friend of mine that we worked together. We were co-workers. And I decided to have lunch at one of our favorite restaurants in all of them. It's called the Rooster. We both had in mind what we wanted to order. And I believe she wanted the salad platter. And I wanted the hummus platter. As soon as we arrived, I noticed a woman being served a great big delicious looking sandwich, and it had tons of avocado, and I love avocados. It looked so scrumptious that I changed my order and got the club sandwich instead. Well, they brought the food. The very first bite that I took, I realized that it was not to my liking. It had way too much mayonnaise, as well as bacon, which I detest. Not like that. And then to make a long story short, it was not what I wanted. But interestingly enough, I heard this as loud as I am speaking to you right now. I could hear this voice, and I heard it, and everything became still, like in the movie The Matrix. And I heard loud as day, why do you partake of the things that you do not like? Why do you partake of things that you do not like? And then one more time, why do you partake of things that you do not like? I was not satisfied. It wasn't the restaurant's fault. The food is excellent there, but I had changed my mind. And my first initial feeling, that special knowledge which held my truth, I did not credit, nor believe my genuine first thought that it was my truth. I did want to eat hummus, and left with only the physical, not only the physical hunger, for I did not consume the rest of the sandwich. I was left spiritually hungry, and that hunger lingered a lot longer. I ran to the bathroom and cried. I needed to give credit to my genuine feeling, and so we must all nourish that which is born out of us. This is how we love, respect, validate ourselves. This particular experience taught me a great lesson I shall never forget. Daily, I am reminded of the importance of the veracity of my own truth. I owe it to myself to live it. I owe it to myself to live it. We owe it to ourselves to live it, to honor it, and do all to maintain it as a living fountain. The universe gives us daily lessons. Excuse me. I love water. Now, after finding this new awareness and realizing that I do love me, I am ready to make the conscious decision of becoming my own mediator and contractor. This book that I wrote years ago, it was about making a contract with myself, about what I would accept in my life, what I wanted to bring to me, um, what I felt that I deserved. And I made many goals for myself, and I've been working with this for many, many years. And I'm happy that I found this book because I'm going to do some editing with it still, but I really did like this chapter here, and I wanted to share it with you. I set out to recreate, resurrect the potential hidden inside the gold mine that contains the mother lode. And we all have this. And to exploit that which I am. I know the word exploit sounds negative in a way. Are we going to exploit that? But I don't see it that way, because we need to exploit and explore and exploit that, the best of us. Because then we can get out of us the best that's in us and remove that which no longer need. By taking responsibility of my life and creating a blueprint of what I really want for me. After I have created the idea in my mind, I shall write the contract and what it will entail, thus giving me an opportunity to create in my mind the results. I set out to write a contract for me, myself, and I. First of all, who am I? The voracious answer is already there. I am a child of God, a daughter of the universe, a being of love. What are my expectations of life for myself? First and foremost, I expect a union with my higher self, and to draw from that source to create and receive love, companionship, happiness, abundance, wisdom, intelligence, patience, tolerance, health, harmony with family and friends, my own career as a writer, to contribute in some way to the universe which has been given me, and last but not least, eternal life. Sounds like nirvana or utopia. Well, they are my true valid desires of an idealist that is also a realist and a dreamer. Yet I balance these three in the common ground of my belief, which is the center of the self, where God deposited his energy. This is why I feel that the mother lode is within, and I owe it to myself to bring them to light, give life to each and every one of them. I believe I have that power, for I do carry the mother lode. Guess what? Contained in every single one of you, there is a mother lode of treasures untold. Exploit your treasure and explore it. What am I willing to give and do to have these expectations realized? First, willingness is the primal and most necessary ingredient of the desire. And second is accepting the fact that I do observe it, that I am worthy. By accepting this concept, I open the windows for love to flow from the universe. And just as important, if not the most important, I believe I already have them by being grateful for them. Gratitude is a very simple truth in my eyes. It is the only answer for me, the metaphysical truth, first in my mind, then in the physical. The miracle manifests itself. It is what our great master taught, the peacemaker Jesus the Christ. It is the truth of the universe. Again, we are all one. Therefore, it is our truth. Another important factor in the writing of my contract, I need to be specific. The universe is very personal, and we all get what we ask for. Regardless, I am a complete believer of that. At this moment in time, I am living what I voiced almost a year ago. When we become aware of what we say, remembering months back, we see our product, our own creation, sometimes wonderful, other times mediocre. We are responsible. The time to become conscientious is here right now. This is why the fish was invented. He teaches us not to speak, for when we open our mouths, we hang ourselves or others. He's caught because he opens his mouth. Did you ever think on that one? Nature really is the master teacher. Awareness is key to change. I have always been an idealist since I was a little girl. Since I feel this great awakening inside my heart and thoughts, I have many questions for my higher self, for I know for a fact that I hold the knowledge of the universe within me. I can know of all, for I am all. So the question is, what kind of life do I want? Do I deserve? Do I acknowledge? Am I aware of that which is not part of my truth? What I plan to do is to gather all of my ideas lovingly, create an objective of how I want to be, dedication towards the effort and commitment to discipline myself to this vision. How I visualize my life, it will be done with emotion, the feeling of the heart, to create it in my mind and born out of my mouth, conveyed with fluency of words that say exactly what my heart feels. I want my life to reflect the real me as I look at myself in the mirror, clear, precise, nothing hidden. Since I know that having this contract will be an allegiance of trust with myself, the use of my most powerful energy will be used to benefit myself, taking the necessary steps to undergo a most pristine and scrupulous journey to my heart of hearts. For I will be giving myself full trust and will honor my contract, never to breach nor break, for in doing so, I forge my own life. I truly believe that we all have made a contract prior our coming here. If we endeavor with the intent of our hearts to seek after that which brings our awareness to a full circle, and this very thing makes us and others happy, it is our niche in life. It is your contract with the universe, one to be obeyed by ourselves. All that comes from the heart is an inspiration of the soul. Just like when we get ready to take off, we brace ourselves in the airplane. I am filled with an inner excitement and wonder at this journey. It is a destination where I want to travel. The time spent will be determined by the contract I make. It will not be longer than a year, for I feel that great changes can happen during a year. And as I write this book, my life progressively is evolving into my desired effect. Yet feel that I want to live by my contract, for it is my truth. The greatest desire in my life is to continue to reach the ascension towards the light, acquiring knowledge, wisdom, digging inside my gold mine, reaching my mother lode, and creating my world in a vast world of knowledge, wisdom, love, truth, abundance, communicating with my higher precious self, God and me. This to me is a wondrous journey. I apply daily discipline, which requires dedication, love, awareness, complete and total commitment. Accomplishing this labor of love, for that is what I call it. It is of the utmost importance for me. Through meditation, study, prayer, affirmations, up in the early morning hours, 4:30, sometimes earlier, my heart seeks the power within me to enlighten me, inspire, thus maintaining through dreams, personal revelations, the path my life is to pursue. I believe that this path will lead me to walk as one with the source of all life. I have accepted the I Am presence in me, something I have always known since I was a child. Yet it was taught to me by my teacher. This is why I believe there are no limitations in life. We can truly achieve all we desire. I also know that we must ask with intent of heart and by the divine grace of God, that it may be as well in harmony with the universe. I have learned too that what affects me affects you. We are all linked in this universe. Each person has his and her own world, and all with whom you associate with are connected to you in some form or another. The energies and good feelings you send out are received, I assure you, as well as other feelings which are not as positive. Do we ever ask ourselves when we are thinking of something we want to attain that your brother, neighbor may receive as well? I have made an assessment of myself and my life, the things that are important, evaluated myself as well from a scale from 1 to 10, where I am, where am I in my truth? Am I living the way I want to live? Are my expectations well defined? Am I ready to take responsibility for the limitations and scarcity that I have had in my life? Am I ready to make a conscientious effort to strive towards an honest change? Am I ready to release the binding constrictions I have created for myself? Am I ready to accept all that the universe has to offer me and partake of its bounty? And most important, do I believe I deserve it? The first thought that comes to mind is this: where should I be now? What will my what will give my heart happiness? Is my life's companion in my present life? Was my decision about not going to Hawaii the correct one? Currently working right now. Okay, let me go back. This book I wrote back in the year 2003, 2004. So all this has already transpired, it's already happened, and I'm in a completely, totally different situation today. At that time, currently working right now as an apartment complex manager, yet desire this to be only a stepping stone for my real work, which is writing books. What I am doing this very minute is what gives me joy. Amazingly enough, I have answered two questions, so I am at the right place at the right time. I voiced not even a year ago how I desired a job that I could write uninterrupted. I have it. The limitations with this job serve me perfectly well. I am supposed to be within certain hours in the office, and these hours I use both for my work as well as for my benefit in writing. One thing about this job, many would frown if they knew: I'm not getting paid. I receive the rent for being here. I take calls and showing apartments. I collect the rent. I go to the bank. I cover my own utilities and other expenses. So it is a job and not really a job, but it suits my purpose. And I was also getting paid just on the side. It was just a small amount. It was like $800. I didn't write that in there, but that's what it was. What kind of I wrote in here. What kind of relationship do I desire? This thought comes to me. A relationship of two minds that have one thing in mind: to be aware of the other's happiness, one filled with selflessness, romance, the small little things like poems, love letters, living life passionately in every sense of the word, tenderness, sweetness, consideration, intelligence, and wisdom, projects to benefit mankind, a togetherness that is wholesome yet electrical wherever we work together, a relationship full of energy, trips unplanned at the drop of a hat, receiving flowers, and it is not your birthday nor Valentine's Day. I'm a romantic at heart. I didn't realize I wrote this. A love that no matter how many miles separate us, we stay true to each other and keep our love alive. Reading and educating ourselves, growing together, sharing our dreams, swimming in the ocean and playing with dolphins, surfing, playing like kids on swings in the park, climbing trees, laying in the grass naked under the sun. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to read this. Oh my goodness. Camping, going to the movies, out to eat alone with friends, inventing dishes together. I'm kind of I'm a very free spirit. I'm a Sagittarius, so imagine watching sunsets together, dancing and singing through life, massaging each other's feet while we read, and singing at the top of our lungs as we drive. Anyway, so several years ago, many a time when I am submerged in a book, time does not exist. The creation of my mind is so focused on the book that I am actually living what I am reading. I have this, I think it's kind of like, I consider it a gift because I go to another place. I am completely, uh, it's like I'm living the book. When I read the Lord of the Rings and any book that I read, I go there. I experience what I am reading. And this is why I love imagination so much. Um, I started another book at that, and that one is stagnant at this moment. This right now is the spark that gives me life and has kept me inspired. This one was born from an inspiration as the other material. It was written as personal therapy, has a life of its own. It was written in a time when I lived through the most painful event in mine and my children's life. It is being reformed because after what I have learned from that particular time in my life, I realized that no one can make you a victim, only yourself. Also promised myself never to be anyone's victim, especially not my own. And besides, I take full responsibility for my life. I give myself the credit I deserve. So, um, wow, I'm still surprised of all the things that I wrote in this. I have not read this for years. Uh, I am very, not surprised, but a lot of the things that I went through, I share them in this book. But the greatest thing, the most important thing for me here is that I speak about how I became resilient and I trusted God. I've always trusted God. I have let go of Him many times throughout my life, and the times that I did let go of Him, I realized that I did not have a good outcome because God in my life is the light of my life. I cannot live in this world without Him because I have knowledge of this presence, and this presence is within me. And I have lived up to now a miraculous life. My life has been miraculous. I can I can tell you many, if not hundreds of experiences where my life has been spared. Things have happened where people have helped me when I was at the most distraught moment, and out of the blue, I would have help. Um, I cannot speak high. I mean, there are no words to express my appreciation for my father, and I am his child. I am a person that, I don't like to use the word grandmother because I've never really been called grandmother, because my kids call me Momo, because in Danish, because my kids were born in Denmark, and I speak Danish with some of them, and so I've never really been called grandmother, but they call me Momo or Famo, and so I've lived some years. I'm now spring chicken, but I have a very youthful mind. I do things even still now that I surprise myself in people that are my age, because for me age doesn't have, how do I explain this, it's just a number. And I'm going through this process of like a metamorphosis and an ascension of my mind, and I have dreams that realize themselves. So to make a long story short, we all can seek that and come to the realization of of expanding your mind, expanding the understanding that we have of what we are. No one gives that to you. You have to seek that yourself. You create your own garden. For me, the garden of my mind is precious, and I get to do that. I get to work at it, and I'm not alone doing this. And you use the tools that God gave us, and those tools are the most beautiful things. Is your imagination, your faith, your emotions, your love, and what you focus on, and your dreams, and you give them life. And how do you give them life? Loving them. Yeah, I don't want to continue to make this longer, but because I know I always go over the time. But I just want to tell you guys that you are loved. You are loved by so many, not just the people around you. There's beings that you can't see. I know that I'm surrounded by love. I know I have angels that watch over me, that help me even with my thoughts, that I'm giving inspiration. Music is a muse for me. And I recognize people. I have not yet met them, but I know them in my heart. There are people that come in my dreams that I know them, 100% know them. I know that we are here for a purpose, and we give our lives purpose by finding that purpose. And when you find your purpose, then your entire world changes. And you're the only one that can give change to your world is you. You are the change. You be the change. If you want things to change, there's many conditions right now that are not very nice and not very good. But no one can change the things around us. We're the only ones. Become conscientious. Become aware. Be aware of what you are and who you are. And trust that life will give you the best, because you will give the best. Give the best of yourself to life. Give everything. What can I say? Give of yourself like it's the last thing, like it's the last day of your life. Live your day, live your life like it's the last day of your life. That way you can have something the following day, after you've lived today, you can go look back and say, I did this and I did that. I was able to help someone. But the greatest thing you can give to yourself, give your truth. Find you who you are. Find you who you are. And like I read to you, like the first page I read to you from Khalil Gibran, self-knowledge is the greatest gift you can give yourselves. Self-knowledge, it's a must. If you don't have self-knowledge, you won't know what you want. And this way, by doing this, you honor yourself. So go find who you are. Go in the gates. Go exploit and explore that what you are, and be happy in it and relish it and love you. Anyway, so have a wonderful day, a wonderful week. My beautiful hummingbirds. Have a wonderful time. Bye.